Welcome to the Superheroes Journey TV breakout spoiler-filled season finale extravaganza. This is secondary, audio of the podcast that we normally do about superhero movies and TV shows. My name's Carl Freemerman.
I'm Brian Shores.
All right, please write to us on Twitter at Superhero Journey, no E in super, or you can write to us on email to us at thesuperheroesjourney@gmail.com, where heroes is plural, not possessive. And we've got some good stuff, maybe, to talk about.
Definitely some good stuff. Definitely some not good stuff, but good stuff talking about it nonetheless.
Yeah.
There, positive spin.
Right. So we got Supergirl, Flash, Arrow.
Yep.
All big season finales.
Yeah.
And do we want to start with, I'm going to give you an option here.
Okay.
Do we want the good, the bad, or the ugly? Because that was kind of weak it was for me.
Yeah. Wait, let's play a game. Let's see if I can guess which one was the good, which one was the bad, and which one was the ugly. I'm going to say good was Flash, bad was Arrow, and ugly was Supergirl.
Wow, no.
Wow, really?
That's not at all.
Wow. Okay, we are going to have some disagreements, I think.
Apparently. All right.
Please tell me you're just completely throwing a wrench in this, and you're going to say the good is Arrow. I mean, I don't agree with that.
The good is not Arrow. Let's start with Arrow.
Okay.
Arrow is the bad.
Arrow is the bad. Wait, Flash is the ugly?
Could be.
Wait. It would have to be.
Wait,
I'm very confused.
all right. Well, we're going to Arrow.
This is so very... I hope everybody listening at home or on your commute is equally as confused as I am.
Yeah.
At some point in time, I will draw up, charts and graphs once we have this figured out.
All right. So Arrow
Yes.
was the big build-up for this epic, every character from every season. Not every season, but,
No, but...
damn lot of characters. That,
Yeah, there was a lot of build-up, a lot of expectation.
Mm-hmm. And it all was kind of flat for me.
Yeah, there was, I think, with some editing, this could have been a really great episode. But it just kind of turned into another episode of Arrow.
Yeah, there's some good stuff. I like Slade Wilson coming back.
Yeah.
Deathstroke. Manu Bennett.
Yeah.
His acting, his character, he's great.
Yeah.
Really great. The reasoning for him to ask for his help is a little weak. He's just he's like, I'm desperate. I need your help.
I mean, I get that. I'm okay with him being desperate because, it's like his whole team is taken, his sister's taken, his entire family's taken. He's already resorted to, getting Malcolm Merlyn help, his help.
Right.
I did like that the Mirakuru was out of his system.
Yeah.
Deathstroke.
And he wasn't crazy anymore. I like that.
Yeah, he was back to being his friend and mentor, even though there was still a little animosity there.
Yeah.
That I thought was really
They
fun.
did one too many fake outs with him, he's bad. Nope, he's still helping them.
Yeah, that was weak.
And then, that one wasn't expected, and the other one was like, oh, yeah, we planned that one.
Yeah, I could have... Because they definitely missed the mark with that, where they should have left it with one. 1 and 1, give one to Digger Harkness, which I completely buy him turning on him.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I don't know why he even bothered to give him a chance. That was a bigger leap of faith and totally nonsense. I think they just had that loose end that they're like, all right, he's in the prison too. Let's just do something with him.
And I do have to say that it did all come flooding back, and as soon as the guard showed up with the Argus patch, I was like, that's right, Argus is running that prison, which we kind of both forgot about. Yeah, somewhat intentionally, on the...
I mean, I knew that they were, but it doesn't seem that they had they bothered. They had the resources. They do have the resources, but you got a guy permanently manned there, and you're sending supplies there all the time. It's so far fetched.
Yeah. Also, wouldn't that have been the place that King Shark would have been with the alien tech? You have this remote prison that you're keeping Deathstroke.
Yeah.
That probably should have been the one. And then they could have tied Flash into this.
And about that, now, if Argus was there, first of all, they would probably have a base there. They wouldn't just have, we just manned this tiny little underground bunker.
Yeah.
No, they would have an operation going on there because you can't. Like I said, you're not just gonna ship in supplies just for one guy. Like you're gonna might as well run something out of it.
There's three guys. There's
yeah,
Deathstroke, Digger Harkness, and the guard.
The guard, right? Yeah.
So they got supplies for all three.
Right.
Possibly a second guard so that this one can take naps, but
yeah, and then I guess you need a janitor, right?
I mean, we're really they really need a much stronger infrastructure than they're showing.
Right.
I think they're going to need like a summer season.
Getting to that though is that in this episode, by the end you find out that Adrian Chase had set up C4 bombs like littering this island, like every square inch of this. Well, every cubic foot, let's say, of this island had a C4 bomb on it. When they show like the overlay that shows where all the bombs are, I'm like, so not once did these Argus guys notice that, hey, there's a guy here, like just.
Well, if you notice, the entire map wasn't red, so there were sections where he didn't put bombs, and
But there was so many of them. This guy was all over the island, back and forth. He would have been seen for sure.
Oh yeah, obviously. But, he...
Especially with that supply plane coming in.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I have nothing. I'm not even going to try and justify this. It defies
So this episode, it was funny, stupid things that happen in all these shows. Like, this show seems to overuse the whole, like, smoke bomb escape.
Yeah.
It's very cartoon, like, ninja. Like, and I'm just gone. And it doesn't matter who is. Talia was really egregious in this episode because she was surrounded on both sides. I'm like, I'm sorry, dropping a smoke bomb when you're surrounded on both sides is not going to help you get anywhere.
Carl, that's how good she is. Yeah. Okay.
She is incredibly
skilled. See, I'll at least, as the comic fan, I'll at least give Talia the pass on that, where she spent her entire life being raised by Ra's al Ghul and living in the League and then leaving and starting her own little faction, and so I'll give it that. Okay, she has the training. Sure, that's what she devoted her life to. I would hope in that case that she could. The Adrian Chase one was so lame.
And because also there's an obvious exit.
Yeah.
So like, okay, he drops the smoke bomb and. All right, it's obvious which way he went. Let's all run the same way because he's going that direction, so it doesn't really matter.
But on the plus side, all the smoke bombs do lend itself to a possible team up in a future season. Fingers crossed. Oh, wait, no, it'll never work because that's Disney and Marvel. I was going to say Darkwing Duck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got training from Darkwing Duck.
I mean, come on. He used smoke bombs like
all the time.
At least like 6 times per episode, and those episodes are 20 minutes long.
So there was another ridiculous moment with Thea stepping on the landmine.
Yeah.
And then Malcolm's trying to like figure out a way to get her off, and he's like, "Oh, I just pushed her off of it and switched place." I'm like, "No, you're both dead now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's not how these things work. You would not have enough time."
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, unless it was a matter of like
just think more about it when you write these things. Have him put his hand underneath her foot or something on the thing and then push her off. I don't know.
The dude's got he's got to have like a sword, right? Like
yeah.
So, or even one of his arrows. How come he's not sliding that under her foot?
Yeah.
And then like sliding his foot over that.
Right.
Like I understand the whole thing where she was refusing to do it and he had to shove her out of the way.
Yeah, I thought it was a good moment. I liked the context of the moment.
But what I would have done, because John Barrowman has said that he's done with Arrow, he's not coming back.
Really? I didn't actually hear that.
Yeah. He's said he's done with the show, he's not coming back. What I would have done is I would have maybe not put it on screen and have it be so incredibly graphic, but I would have had him do the shove and have it be too late, and he goes there, and let's say that causes some kind of structure damage or whatever that gets the people away that he apparently blew up later in the episode.
Right.
But
yeah, and then who was it?
Because it's so easy to do it off screen.
Yeah, it's like Digger comes, right? And he's right next to him. He doesn't know he's standing on the mine, and then you see the explosion. So, I mean, you could write some contrived way that they somehow one of them survives, but like they should both be dead at this point.
Yeah.
Let
Well,
alone
that you have like a half second where you don't have the pressure on the mine. That it can go. So maybe he, maybe he just like lifted his foot really quick and hacky sacked it at Digger Harkness and.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Hacky sacked it.
Yes.
Just like in Mission Impossible 2, where the guy hacky sacked the gun out of the sand up into his hand, and I hated that. I think it was Tom Cruise who did that.
Yeah. Okay, I didn't say it was good. I just said I'm saying it's a thing that would happen on Arrow, which
Probably.
I'm sure you would agree is a thing that would happen on Arrow.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But let's assume both of those characters are dead. But then
they're straight up dead.
But then let's get to Digger, Captain Boomerang. It was no loss at all because he was just a worthless character.
Yeah.
In this version, which is sad because he could have been a fun villain.
It was his first like cameo was fun when he showed up like in
and he makes so much more sense as an Arrow villain because he could actually be some sort of problem for him.
No, he would be much more of a threat for Ollie than he would for Barry. Because
Arrow. That's what I said. Arrow. Yeah.
I thought you said Flash.
No.
I'm clearly paying attention to every word. Yeah. No. Okay. Yeah. No, we're on the same page.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he was originally, and that they just did the crossover.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I bring that up because he's a Flash villain from the comics, and I could never buy Captain Boomerang as any threat to the Flash, and they're even perpetuating that in the DCEU movies.
Yeah. From Suicide Squad.
Yeah, from Suicide Squad. I'm like, why this guy? Even and especially the version we got in Suicide Squad, he had no skills or abilities at all.
No, but he did have that remote control battering from Batman Returns, so that was a thing that everybody was hoping would come back.
Yeah. So let's get to the big finale moment.
All right.
We have Adrian Chase threatening Oliver's son.
Yeah, William.
And Adrian
Still
Chase.
don't know why his name isn't Connor.
Yeah, and he's got he's got a dead man switch set up to all these C4 bombs all over the island, and if Arrow has to decide to kill him or he kills his son, so either way he's going to lose either his friends or his son. And then he does the obvious thing and shoots him anywhere else other than a kill shot.
Yeah.
He shoots him in the foot.
Yeah.
Really good. I was like, all right, I'm on point with that. That's
that was great.
And then this is actually a really good moment. Adrian Chase, whatever he says about, you won this thing, blah, blah, blah. But like, now you're going to have to live without your friends, and shoots himself in the head. And I was like, wow. I didn't expect that at all from this show.
No.
Really cool.
Yep.
But, and this is the only good stuff about the episode, that I like this part. And then the island explodes. All the C4 on the island explodes.
A lot of the island explodes.
Well, we see. I would assume
you see explosions all over the island, but that's why I brought that point up earlier, where there are sections that you saw on the map that did not have C4. A map that they had.
Right.
They had that on a tablet.
So, I'm hoping that this show had the balls to kill.
Oh, me too.
Several of their characters. Now, obviously, they're not going to kill every member of Team Arrow.
No.
But damn, would that be ballsy? And I would probably be like, yeah, I'm definitely watching next season if they're all dead.
Well, we definitely know that Diggle and Felicity aren't dead.
Yeah.
Like,
they did split up the team, so that maybe they could kill off part of the team.
I'm willing to bet that William's mother's dead.
Yeah, makes sense.
Possibly.
But she was with Felicity and.
Yeah, but she could have been dumb.
Mr. Terrific.
She could have just been like, "I'm going after William."
Yeah.
Or I got it. Ollie snuck some of the T-spheres onto the island, and Mr. Terrific used those to fly everyone to safety.
Yeah. And they're gonna find some ridiculous way to make these characters, a couple of them live, and I know I'm going to hate it.
There was C4 under the plane, which sent it into the sky, and they were able to glide over.
Because they really set it up so that they're dead. They should be dead because they specifically they had the plane there that was Chase's plane, and then they go to use it, and Then they find out it's been sabotaged.
Which, as soon as that happens, why aren't you running to one of the clear spots?
Yeah, that's true. But then they also say, like, oh, but there's a boat or something somewhere else. But they're like, oh, no, but it's on the other side of the island. I'm like, okay, so you're all dead.
Yeah.
Like, they specifically laid it out that they should all die.
Oh,
but
yeah.
of course, the show's going to find some way that I'm going to be like, oh, this is nonsense. I mean, there's the bunker.
That's what I was gonna say.
Go.
They're gonna end up in the bunker.
Yeah, that's the most obvious thing that they'll probably do, and
yeah.
I guess that one is the only one that makes some sort of sense. But like, and since I have no context of where that bunker is on the island and where they were,
yeah,
they seem to have gone a long distance from it.
Well, there's also one thing
who knows though, because Arrow picked it up.
I don't know. Maybe you remember this better than I do, because I kind of have a willful ignorance with this show that kind of helps me enjoy what while I'm watching. But I don't ever remember that monastery being on the show before.
No, I don't believe they ever mentioned.
So there's clearly a whole bunch of crap on Lian Yu that we don't know about. So they're going to be like, oh yeah, by the way, there's a bomb shelter like 5 feet away from where this plane was landed. Damnedest thing, but we're good.
Yeah, right. Oh man. So yeah, Arrow, man, this show is just enough for me. Like I said this last week, but if they have the balls to kill, like I said before, several or even all of them would be great. Yeah. It's not gonna happen, but like then because the way this ended would set that up, and I would buy it. I'm like, you killed everyone, cool, and we just got Oliver now, and he's got a new team. But this, okay.
I could see it for next season where like William's mom is dead, and maybe Diggle's missing like a limb or something, and Cisco has to make him, some prosthetics, and maybe like Thea's gone and Renee's gone. I think Mr. Terrific is. I don't know. I enjoy his character.
Black Canary could be gone.
Black Canary could be gone. Even though I did like that little moment where Lance is like, they're calling her Canary, and he's like, no, it's Black Canary. I'm like, that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
It was a nice character moment. It wasn't amazing. But,
actually, getting back, the one comment I want to make about this episode is that it failed to give me a really compelling conflict, like in the fights that we got. Like the final battle was really pathetic, in my opinion. Like Oliver and Chase's battle was like really generic and it wasn't anything cool. There wasn't any cool fight choreography, any cool moves, nothing, no cool like you think Oliver would have planned, because he was on his way there. He could have had all these cool special arrow gadgets. We could have seen something.
Yeah,
nothing. Another really big missed opportunity I thought was that we had the what's Evil Laurel's name?
Oh, Black Siren.
Black Siren. We could have Black Siren versus Black Canary, and like we briefly, like for a second, like it's gonna happen, and they had a little thing, and then all of a sudden she gets knocked out by Lance.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? You didn't give us like the clashing canary cries? I'm like, why? What's wrong with you? I wanted to see that. I wanted to see them go blast each other with it and see what happened.
And they both went backwards.
Did they?
Yeah.
I must have fell asleep for that moment.
Probably. I don't know. The one opportunity in the show, and this is such a small thing, but I think for somebody who is a fan of the characters from the comics, I think this would have been really cool, is if Deathstroke, if Ollie didn't, magically bring all Deathstroke's gear with him, or whether Argus had that. If what I would have liked is if they knocked out the guard and Deathstroke took, like his guns or any other stuff that he had close by, and then he grabbed the Deathstroke helmet that was on the island. That was like the first thing you saw in the season.
One, right? Yeah.
The original one, and he's wearing that, because then you're seeing that he's no longer like Deathstroke the Terminator, the one that killed Ollie's mom. He's going back to his friend. That I thought would have been
that would have been great too.
It would have been a great story moment. It would have brought it back together.
Better writing right there.
Yeah, just like it's like I said with Shield. I could write this show better than the writers.
Let's not go that far.
Carl, just give me this, okay?
I'll give you Arrow. Okay, that's all you can have. You could have Flash too, probably.
Yeah.
The other little things was the Deathstroke. Just a little observation I had. I kind of felt like Manu Bennett wasn't in the suit, like when most of the time, like when
there's a good chance
because it was a weird thing that every time he had the mask on, it didn't feel like it was him. It felt like they had just had some guy standing in, and the voice seemed like it was a voiceover or something like that.
Yeah. Well, is he on another show now?
I don't know.
Because if they could only get him for like a day or two, that could justify why they would have like a stunt guy doing
and it's
it.
not a problem. It was just a thought I had. I'm like, I don't really think that was him, but it's fine. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, I don't know. I was a little disappointed because we talked about it last episode, where I was kind of theorizing from that Stephen Amell tweet where he's like, I can't believe we got this guy back, and I thought it was somebody brand new, but I'm guessing they were just talking about Manu Bennett, who was already in the previous episode. Why wouldn't he just... So I don't understand why he wouldn't just say, like, hey, I'm so glad to have Manu Bennett back on the show.
It was Digger, that's who it was, or whoever that actor who played him.
Right.
He was so happy to get him back.
There was so much
brief cameo.
There was so much that they could have done, or like so many characters that they could have brought back. Like I said, even if they were like lame, like it would have been cool to see, like Roy back, because he's like, no, this is kind of like my surrogate family. I have to, I have to save him. It would have been cool for Ragman to come back story-wise and, have him take on, a bunch of like the League people in the background.
A last criticism also I had was the flashbacks in this episode. Utterly pointless. You could have cut all that out and none of it would have mattered.
Oh, yeah. No, it was clearly there was flashbacks just so they could have flashbacks.
Yeah.
But I did love... Actually, you know what? What if the okay. I just remembered something. What if the cameo he was referring to was the actress who played his mother, who did come back at the very end?
Could be. I mean, that was a good
And I did love
moment.
that flashback.
Yeah.
Because now, even though it was, you're right, it was, and I agree 100%, it was a very touching scene. And, and I think that was like showing that I don't think Oliver was supposed to be acting in that scene. I think that was all very genuine for the character, where he, he's crying, talking to his mom. He's glad he's finally going home, and I think they did that to show that he wasn't who Chase said he was, the murderer and all that.
Right.
But so.
Yeah, and that was a good way to wrap that up.
Yeah.
It's just
and
everything
I love that there's no more
that
flashbacks.
Yeah, well...
Hopefully.
We'll see.
If they're flashing back to season 1 and every episode is a clip show, I'm done.
They're going to flash back to his journey back from the island to home. He's going to be in like a plane or a boat for like the whole season.
Then we're going to have like half a season where it's him like arguing with customs, trying to get his crate.
He's going to meet somebody like on a plane that's like an important character in the present day.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move on to what I consider the good of this week.
All
that's Supergirl.
Okay. We differ on that, but
differ on that. There was some really cool stuff in this that I hope you agree.
There was a lot good with this episode, but I wouldn't say it was the best.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't say it was a great episode. I just said it was good.
You said it was good, and you said Flash was ugly, so
we'll get to that.
I'm interested to see where this goes.
So, the fight between Kara...
Wait, are you talking about Savitar's burn face? Because, dude, that's just rude.
That's just mean, yeah. I'm not that terrible of a person.
Oh. Okay, Supergirl.
So the fight between Superman
by the way,
and
Supergirl, not ugly.
Absolutely not.
No.
Jeez. She's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Let's just say that.
Oddly enough, I like her better as Kara, not Supergirl. Not to objectify, but...
They both have a distinct appeal that I enjoy.
Yeah.
So...
The fact that they're attractive.
No, the fight between Superman and Supergirl
was great.
So good.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Oh, yeah.
I don't agree with how Supergirl wins, but
that's out of the comics, dude.
I don't care. That's fine.
Yeah. Well, it's out of the comics. She's stronger than Superman.
Okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's something I think they retconned maybe about 10 years ago.
All right. I mean, that's fine. I just the CG was great, the choreography, just I love the like sort of boxer like slug fest going on, which works really well for people of that power.
Yeah.
And so much more compelling. Like, it's funny that this was so much better than Batman versus Superman.
Mm-hmm.
Like that fight in that movie compared to this fight in this TV show.
Yeah.
I was in love with that scene. I was so happy.
Well,
And that made the episode for me. And like the rest of it wasn't like amazing, but man, and the explanation for that, of course, is silver kryptonite, which
sure.
I'm like, whatever. It was
a thing.
It's a thing. Who cares?
It's in the comics. It was in Smallville.
Yeah, we already had red kryptonite in this season, in first season of Supergirl.
Yeah.
And the Daxamites, like, whatever, they have
Lead.
technology, they know. So
I thought you were talking about because
yeah. So she would, Mom L would know.
Yeah.
Possibly a weakness of this, so that's fine. That was cool. And you got to, so it made him think that he was seeing his worst enemy. Then he thought he was fighting Zod.
Yeah.
And you had, I don't know who the actor was, but I like that character Zod. And I read something that he might be coming back.
Yeah, that was actually
next season.
That was my hope, to actually see an actor on screen. You actually have like a face going along with a name. Is that now this guy is canon to the series? So I actually would like to see him come back, and I like that he already has a history on Earth.
Yeah.
Because Superman knows him.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Now the thing with I was saying about Supergirl beating Superman, and like I said, it was fine, but then they have to do this forced little like Clark saying like, oh, but I wasn't weakened by the silver kryptonite. I was at full strength. You beat me, Kara. And I'm like, oh god. I'm like,
I was okay.
You gotta
with
drive that in. Like I get it. He could have been more like, maybe he could have made like a funny like excuse,
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's kind of like the big brother.
Yeah.
Where he was. I get that he was doing it to like build her up and be like, no, you have to understand, I'm the most powerful I'm viewed as the most powerful person in the world, and you beat me. Like, you have to understand that you can do this. Mm-hmm. I completely get that. He's
and that worked up. The second time that he kind of made that speech to her when she was going to fight against Mom L in that whatever tradition, Daxamite tradition fight.
See, that's where the show lost me.
See, I thought that was a cool idea that they had that. And that she had to accept, and they were like, you can't go against that because that would make you look really bad.
I like the concept, but everything, her turning against it, like I expected that. I'm not saying like I saw that a mile away, but I expected her not to live up to it because why would she? She hasn't, like, she has shown, she murdered her own husband.
Yeah.
Well, like, she's shown no morals, so why would she follow any kind of code? And then her turning out
political reasons, but
right. I mean, political reasons just mean what you can see on the surface.
Right.
Like,
but to me, that didn't seem. I didn't think that was going to happen. I mean, it makes sense, but I thought she would have some sort of trick up her sleeve because obviously, immediately you're like, well, why would she agree to that? Because she's obviously going to lose. Supergirl is significantly more powerful. The show has established that Kryptonians are much stronger than the Daxamites.
Yeah. So.
That was kind of neat that her blood was like irradiated with kryptonite in a way, and that was pretty cool. I did think that was good. I don't know that it made sense, but
see, I would have much rather
if they explained it a different way, maybe.
Yeah, well, I like it. It came through in my comments on Arrow. I like when a season comes full circle. I think it's just good storytelling. I think it wraps stuff up. I think it's very satisfying. So I would have much rather have it been that she got Metallo, and Metallo hits Kara with the kryptonite, and Superman then comes in and he takes out Metallo, and then she's weakened, and then she has to fight Mom L.
Yeah,
that would have been a lot more satisfying for me.
I agree. You could have done this better. Yeah. But I still thought it was cool to see them duke it out.
Yeah.
I didn't expect her to like, she's just going to go toe-to-toe with her. Like, all right.
Yeah.
And she's taking hits, she's getting pummeled. It was cool. I enjoyed that. And that her just deciding like, nah, screw this. I'm just going to not bother to agree to this fight anymore. And she tells her army to attack. I'm like, oh, that totally makes sense. She would totally do that. Yeah. So I was like, that was fine to me.
Yeah.
there was a really great callback to the other episode where Kara went to the Fortress of Solitude, and she like destroyed Superman's robot.
Oh, yeah.
And like Superman's like, hey, it's like, you owe me a new robot.
Yeah, that was great.
I love that.
The two of them have great like familial chemistry together.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like I think, and it might just because it's new, and you know I might need like a couple years to reflect on it. He so far is my favorite TV Superman.
Mm-hmm.
I think I enjoy his depiction. I think he has the right balance, the right look, and everything they've done with him is just very much comes off as in character to any version of Superman that I know. You know, save for the movie Man of Steel, where that's not any kind of version of Superman that I've seen.
Exactly.
Except for maybe Red Son, where he was Russian and evil.
Wouldn't that be a cool movie if they could possibly do that?
Dude, anything would be a cool movie if they just took it from the comic.
So they mentioned at one point, I can't remember where it was mentioned, something called War World.
Yeah.
Who was it? Superman, maybe?
Yeah.
Who
Superman was like, "Oh yeah, I learned this. I
learned
that on War World."
Right. Do you know what that is?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was.
Please explain.
Okay. War World. It's essentially kind of what they're doing on Planet Hulk, or for the Planet Hulk and Thor Ragnarok, where it's just a world where they just take the strongest of any society and just battle them. It's basically like gladiator fights.
Okay.
I know Mongol, I think.
Right. Okay. Did they? I think they maybe
I think
an
they
episode
did it in
of
the
that
Justice
in
League.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cartoon.
Yeah, the Justice League cartoon. I wanna, because I think in that they might have done it in the Superman animated series with Lobo, I think.
Okay. Possibly.
Or no, that was the Collector, where the Collector was using Lobo to collect Superman.
Okay,
and he collected Lobo too because he was also the last of his species. But yeah, no, it's a really cool concept. It's kind of a trope in comics, but
wouldn't that be great if we could get them to go to War World and like. So
Yeah.
I mean, I think like this is a possibility that they mentioned it. There's no, if they're mentioning it, it's an idea in their head.
yeah,
And we might see it. And now that you said that they take the best, like Supergirl is technically the most powerful of the world because she beat Superman.
Yeah.
So maybe they do take her. Maybe I don't know, if we get to see Lobo, oh my God, I'd be so happy if we could get a version of Lobo in here.
yeah.
Well, so cool. There was another. Okay, I think it was it Kara or somebody. They were. I don't know, maybe it was even Kat. I don't know, but they mentioned they said something about being stronger together, and it was just another little like political thing. I'm like, oh, that was Hillary Clinton's campaign motto.
Well, dude, do you know what the name of the episode was?
No, what was it?
It was oh wait, I'm gonna get it wrong. It said, and yet she persisted.
Okay.
What was the quote that they were talking? It was like the senator that got booted from filibustering or whatever months ago. Where
I'm not really sure which one that is. Yeah.
Dude, I know we talked about it.
Well, if you think about it.
But yeah, it'll be some Googling.
So let me get to something that.
But it was definitely like a political thing. They're very heavy on the politics.
Yeah, they do that,
and I really do enjoy that.
Yeah.
Because their politics kind of align with my own.
Yeah, me too. So I wanted to say there was a little, problems that I had, of course, with this. And there's especially with this way that they stopped the Daxamites. That this box thing that was like
that was dumb.
That Lena Luthor and Lex Luthor's mother. She's like, oh, this is something that Lex created to stop the Kryptonians or something, right? Stop Superman.
Yeah.
And but when she first saw it, I'm like, oh, is it a mother box? I was like, wow, wouldn't that be great if that was a mother box?
And they just they open a boom tube. And,
or something with that.
Oh, it was Nevertheless She Persisted. That was the title of the episode.
So then they like retrofit it to affect Daxamites instead of Kryptonians by irradiating the atmosphere with lead, right? Because they're weak to lead. But I'm like, you're telling me this tiny box that's like no more than, like 6 by 6 inch cube, right? And that somehow irradiates the entire world's atmosphere with lead.
Yeah. See,
and
I could have bought it
instantaneously.
I could have bought it if it just if like it shot up into the sky and it exploded, like there's just a huge explosion and it covered the city, that I could buy. And then like Mon-El just has to like, you know, get out of Dodge for a couple weeks for it to dissipate.
Yeah, but then this is like a permanent thing. And then we'll get into the way in, but Mon-El, of course, is going to be affected by this because the atmosphere is permanently going to be irradiated by trace amounts of lead, which apparently is okay for humans, as they say in the episode. It's okay.
Lead is not good for
even though scientifically we know that lead is actually really bad. Lead poisoning causes a lot of problems.
Yeah. Okay, really quick. So Wikipedia says, for the nevertheless she persisted, and then I'll just let the whole thing go. But we have to sound like we're smart.
Yeah.
The phrase originated in 2017 when the United States Senate voted to silence Senator Elizabeth Warren's objection to confirmation of Senator Jeff Sessions as U.S. Attorney General.
Yeah, I remember that.
Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell uttered the phrase during comments following the vote in an effort to defend the Senate's action and blame Senator Warren.
Great. So that's great that they had an allusion to that as well.
Yeah. So, yeah, and I do enjoy all of the real world connections that they put into, you know, that they've been putting into the shows and all that. But yeah, that's a bit off topic. But
yeah. So back to this magic lead thing.
Yeah.
So then
why couldn't they? Okay, this would have been perfect. Why didn't they just make it a giant Jack in the Box and bring in the Trickster?
Oh, I think we're going a little too far.
No, because I like Mark Hamill.
Yeah, right? I mean, more Mark Hamill, better.
Yeah.
So then Mon-El, like, when she's dying from this lead thing, she turns to dust.
Sure.
And disappears.
She should have just been screaming, "Oh, what a world, and turn into the Wicked Witch of the West. Like,
I was like, what? Why is she turning to dust? It doesn't make any sense. Just have her just die.
Yeah.
I don't know. You know, radiation poisoning doesn't turn anyone to dust. So I mean, whatever. Yeah. Poisoning doesn't do that. It was so ridiculous to do that.
Yeah. I don't know.
It was really unnecessary effect at all.
So that's why I kind of put Supergirl to the episode as the ugly. You know, out of the good, bad, and the ugly. Is that there was so much that it would have been so easy to just have it be great that it was that like the couple scenes that they had, and there were only really 2 scenes in this whole episode that actually stood out that I enjoyed, and it was enough for me to enjoy the entire episode. The good outweighed the bad.
That's why it's the good.
For
you, it's not. There aren't actually those 3. For me, there are. You don't have to go by that.
No, I'll go by that. That's the metric we can go with. That's fine. But you know, and then when we get to Flash, you know, I can explain why I thought that was the good. But there was really only like 2 scenes of like, you know, and I'll qualify it as inner beauty of the show, you know, that actually made it really good. Without the Superman fight, and then the, you know, I don't want to jump ahead, but the scene at the end with between Kara and Kat, you know, like right at the very end of the show. Without those 2 scenes, I would have been completely checked out on this episode. There was really not a whole lot.
Yeah, but those are like the biggest moments.
Yeah, they're great bookends for it.
Right. But, so that's fine.
But
you can't take it away from the episode. And like I said, I did enjoy some of the conflict. I just had some problems with the way they resolved certain things.
Yeah. See, there wasn't enough like in the show beside those 2 things that I really enjoyed. And this is coming from someone who is a big fan of the show, like especially this season of the show. I was actually kind of let down because I expected more from it.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, so I guess we talk about Mon-El. Actually, so he's forced to leave the planet because it's irradiated with lead, so he can't live there anymore. And it's a really touching goodbye scene. I thought I really liked. I thought that was really good. Like, Melissa Benoist was really great in that scene.
Yeah.
Having to, you know, let him go because he has to leave the planet and go somewhere else. But then I was like, can't you just go into space?
Yeah, why didn't she?
She could fly into space and see him there.
Yeah.
And I don't know why he's...
Because all he had to do was just go into the atmosphere until they figured it out.
Yeah. Like,
so, like, why couldn't she just, like, fly up Big Belly Burger, you know?
Yeah, they could have... But I get why it is the way it is. I don't know
where
he's going.
I don't buy it.
But
They should have caulked a bunch, like the windows on an RV, drop that on the moon, and have him fly back and forth from the from like the high atmosphere back to the moon. You know, and they just like hang out.
yeah, you definitely could have done that. It was a little much, but it wasn't as bad as the whole concept of the lead thing to begin with. So whatever. I was like, it is what it is in that case.
Yeah. Well, the one thing that I did like about that though is it was somewhat reminiscent of his original story in the comic, where he got exposed to lead, and then Superboy, because Mon-El, for those who don't know, Mon-El was originally introduced in an issue as Superboy back in, I think it was the late 50s, early 60s.
Okay.
And he was, by the end of the issue, he was exposed to lead, and instead of just letting him die, Superboy used the Phantom Zone projector to put him in the Phantom Zone until there was a time where science was able to cure the lead poisoning. And he was brought out of there by the Legion of Superheroes in the 31st century, and they cured him, and he became a member of the Legion.
Okay, that's cool.
Which we know that Superman has a Legionnaire ring.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if this is the last we've seen of Mon-El. I haven't read anything if are they gonna do something with where he's going?
I haven't heard anything of him leaving the show.
Yeah, because
that would have been news.
Yeah, and I like him. I actually really grown to like his character a lot. Yeah. And the actor, I think he's good.
Well, and I guess him and Melissa Benoist are dating in real life too.
So it makes a stronger reason why he'd be on the show still.
Yeah.
So yeah, his ship goes off.
Or an even bigger reason why the producers would want him off the show, in case they break up. They don't want the fighting.
So his ship does go off into space, and then there's some portal opens, and he goes through it. And the look on his face to me was something of surprise. Like he didn't seem to know or want to go to whatever was happening.
I want to rewatch the first episode of Supergirl because I want to see if that was very similar to the portal or the opening of when she went into the Phantom Zone.
Yeah, I don't know. I obviously haven't looked. So we'll get to. So we'll talk about the Cat Grant thing.
Yeah.
So I knew it,
and
I said it. And I've said it several times. And I'm so happy it's true.
Yeah.
Cat always knew she was Supergirl.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah, that was very satisfying. Because I always gave the show the benefit of the doubt of like the honesty in the characters, where like I didn't want to make assumptions, but it was so satisfying to see her actually acknowledge that she knew that she was Supergirl, because there's no way she's that dumb.
Right, exactly. Because the whole show makes you to believe that she's very, very observant, and she would not miss something like that.
Yeah,
she's just playing it off because, like I've said before so many times, that's just how she wants to deal with the situation, because she doesn't want to have to admit that she's Supergirl to her, because then it changes their relationship.
Yeah.
Now, does she also know that Clark is Superman? We don't know, but she's got it. Right, which also, like I said last week, explains why she's so into him, because she likes that she must like that he plays. Does she think he's playing this Clark character, or does she think that's who he really is, and it's like adorable to her that he's like.
He's just kind of like, oh shucks, but he's also the guy who's flying nuclear missiles into space.
Yeah, it's great. I love it.
No, that was definitely, that reveal was definitely great. Mm-hmm. I really missed the, as we said in the last episode, the Kat and Kara conversations.
Oh yeah. She was a great part of season 1 that's sorely lacking now. I mean. I hope that we get more of her again at some point. I don't think she'll be ever totally gone from the show. Yeah. But maybe just in this respect, we'll get her every once in a while. Yeah. Which is fine.
Yeah, I think she. I think they used her just enough.
Was James Olsen totally absent from this episode? Because that's a huge plus. I don't remember seeing him. He may have been in like one scene.
Yeah, I don't remember him at all.
Yeah. See, that's why it's the good.
And also, did I dream this up, or was there an episode where they referenced Star Wars and she says, "Oh, I've never seen that."
Maybe.
Which I loved, because Calista Flockhart is she's either dated or married to Harrison Ford.
Oh, that was this episode.
That was this.
It was this episode.
Which I love that.
Yeah, because she was making some references to stuff that was like sounded like Star Wars, and she's like, and she didn't. Yeah. She screwed it up, right? Yeah. So. Yeah. Yeah. That was good. is there anything else you want to say about it before we get to the little stinger at the end?
No, I don't think I really have anything else for that. It was just, I mean, it was a good episode, but this would have been one of the best episodes of season 1, I think.
Okay. I mean, that's fair.
Season 2, I came to expect a lot more. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, I still thought it was a solid end to a very good season.
Yeah,
and I was happy with it.
Yeah, no, and I'm excited for the next season. Yeah.
I'm very much anticipating more of this show.
Mm-hmm.
So now that we had this little stinger at the end with some other planet, somewhere on Krypton, right?
Yeah.
Some other house, and they showed the house symbol.
Yeah.
And I don't know what that is. I don't know if you know it or tried to look it up. If anybody has said anything yet, I haven't read.
No, I didn't. I didn't recognize it. I didn't actually look it up.
Okay.
I'm wondering if it was the Zod symbol from Man of Steel.
I don't think it I didn't recognize it. So, yeah. But either way,
because that could be the entrance of Zod into.
Maybe, yeah. So they put a child into a ship, and they're sending this child off, I guess, somewhere. Was it to Earth? Did they say specifically?
Yeah, because I think they referenced Kal-El. Being sent, or Jor-El sending his son or something along the lines, and they definitely look cultish.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it could be Zod, but that wouldn't make sense because that's not Zod's story, and this show hasn't really changed things like that so dramatically.
Yeah, I desperately hope it's not.
Because it wouldn't make any sense.
To do Doomsday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. If it was an attempt to do Doomsday, that would be interesting.
I don't want. I'm sick of Doomsday.
Well, if they did it much better, this would be
the best Doomsday
closer to a realistic.
Yeah, the best Doomsday that I saw outside of the comic was in the. It was in the Superman.
No, let's not go there.
Hey, Sam Witwer did his best. Okay, and I do enjoy Sam Witwer a lot.
The animated.
It was not the animated movie.
No, that wasn't good either. Boring.
Whenever he showed up in Justice League and the Superman animated series, I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, he's not a good character. So, do I want it to be Doomsday? No. I mean, there's probably a ton of characters that I have no idea, don't know anything about that this could be. But Doomsday did come to mind.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I mean, it's a new character. It's probably.
Because I don't think they showed. Well, I don't think. Did they show the baby?
No, they did not. Yeah.
So I mean, it could have been.
Yeah. I mean, I think it was an empty,
Yeah.
cloth that they were holding.
Yeah, well,
but they definitely didn't show the baby.
Yeah, or it was the baby from American Sniper.
Oh God, I saw that. Yeah,
that incredibly plastic.
Yeah, that was very creepy.
Yeah, where Bradley Cooper's moving the hand himself.
I didn't see the movie, but I saw that. I heard about that, and I saw it online. I was like, "Whoa! Why? Why did this happen?"
That was a strange.
Who thought this was a good thing to do?
That was a strange take for them.
All right, let's move on to the ugliness. All right. Of the Flash season finale.
You pronounce "good" very strangely, but
I do, yeah.
Yeah.
There's maybe the different amount of syllables I'm using for some reason.
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of wonky, but we'll go with it.
So, I don't know. Where do you want... Let's let you start on this one, please.
Okay. Well, because as our listeners know, which I'll just take a second to say, Carl and I are very appreciative to find out that we actually do have listeners. So thank you guys for that. But as I'm sure you guys are aware, I like to jump to the end. I'm not going to in this case. I'm going to start at the beginning. I'm changing it up.
Curveball.
But I have to say the internet called this one. They very much called it, in that it was HR, not Iris.
They got it right.
So good on you, internet. Pat yourselves on the back. For the first time ever, one of your conspiracy theories was right, and I'm okay with it. I like that.
I mean, they definitely handled it better than I thought when the idea was first posed to me on the internet. I didn't think the fact that I guess he could have gone to wherever Savitar was holding her, and he used the piece of his armor to help him find us. That was smart.
Yeah. And
she didn't really necessarily have a choice in the matter because he sort of forced it upon her.
Yeah, I do find it a little strange that Savitar, in that moment, didn't
just kill.
Yeah, didn't just kill him.
Right.
And kill Iris in the first place.
See, that's another part of this episode that's a problem. Like this episode, the reason why I say it's ugly, because it constantly insults my intelligence. So yeah, that's a moment, and like I don't know how this.
Well, to be fair, Carl, you do think 2 + 2 = 3, so
that's an interesting one.
Yeah.
I don't know how this like holographic thing works. How he can just use it on her.
Yeah.
He's just like poof. Now you look like me forever. Until when? I don't know.
Yeah, it should have been that he had another one and gave it to her or something.
Right. That wasn't established well enough for me.
I would have been a lot happier if he had found a way to contact Gypsy and bring over tech from the other world, so that he could have, given that to Iris. Because, that like my love of the show made me accept a lot. All right.
Yeah. But you're giving this show the benefit of the doubt. A lot. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. So okay. HR swapped himself with Iris, and he gets killed instead of Iris, and he's having this like speech while he's laying there dying, and Flash is talking to him, and whatever her name is comes in, scientist girl, and all the while I'm just like I don't care what's happening, and I'm like kind of screaming at the screen, I'm like, bring him to a hospital. You're the Flash. You can get there damn near instantaneously. He might actually live if you brought him to a hospital that quickly.
Yeah, because if it went like right through his chest, there's a chance that it missed his heart. He might have like perforated a lung, but he's got 2. They could have patched it up or yeah.
I'm like, what is going on right now? You're not thinking at all in this show. Whoever wrote that's a huge problem for me, and I cannot accept that these people that with these powers and all this intelligence don't think of something so simple as speeding him to the hospital.
Yeah.
But then it goes on. Oh, go ahead if you want to say something.
Okay, well this will tie into like every scene in the show, and I'm glad that it's continuing on, and they already confirmed that we're getting another season of the show. But I don't know if you'd agree with this, that this would have made an excellent series finale.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, I think this was written as a series finale. I don't think this was written as a season finale. That's why how they handled HR's death what would have been okay, because they have to wrap up the storylines for these characters. And I don't want to get into like all the points because I don't want to jump ahead, but it was something that I started feeling like very early on in the show, is that everything about this was definitely feeling like a series finale. It was a lot of it was a lot more definite than just a season finale.
But I mean, they had to have known that it wouldn't have been. So
I don't think it was.
No way that they would have.
I don't think that was their intention.
Right. Yeah.
But
so then, okay, of course. So now that Barry knows this, very soon after, Savitar knows that this switch happened and Iris didn't die. So then I'm like, okay, he knows. Go kill her.
Yeah.
You know exactly where she is, because you would know he would bring her.
All he has to do is just run back to where he was.
Right. She's where the place. Yeah, right. He could have ran right back to there, but if she's not there, she's going to be in one of the places that they are always at, because they're only in a few locations ever.
Yeah.
I mean, they're in that secret Reverse Flash room, with the newspaper thing. And I was thinking in my head while that scene was happening, they see the newspaper's back to normal, and she wrote the article again because she didn't die. And in my head, I'm thinking, wouldn't it be so great if Savitar just came in and he phased through the wall, ripped her heart out, held it up to Barry's face, and then just zoomed out of there? Because there's no reason why he couldn't have done that, and he should have done that. There's no. That's another big logical leap that I can't take in this episode.
Well,
why he just drops the idea of killing her at that point. And acts like, oh, it's inevitable now. I can't stop it. I can't stop this anymore. I'm gonna die. I'm like, no, you're not. Just kill her again. They've tried to stop you from killing her before. There's no reason why you can't do it again.
Yeah.
And then the whole episode has so many huge problems with time travel and whatever crap's going on that are the huge paradoxes. That, and by the end of the episode, in my head, I was thinking like, Well, there was
Yeah.
that whole like quaking that was happening.
Yeah.
We'll get to that, but I was thinking like, yeah, you probably destroyed the fabric of reality, and the all of the universe is crumbling. And I would have been happy if that was how it ended, because the problems you have created in this scenario of this episode are just
because then it could have tied into Legends.
Yeah, right, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I think a really cool twist they could have taken was to hide Iris in the Speed Force and almost used her as bait to get Savitar into the Speed Force.
Much better idea, Brian.
Yeah.
Why aren't you writing the show?
I'm trying, okay? They just won't let me.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna send the writers' room all of the episodes of this podcast, and hopefully they don't take resentment to all the crap we've thrown at Arrow. And then they'll be like, "Oh wait, this guy seems to be on
critical,
something."
but I want this stuff to be better. That's why I'm so critical.
I mean that like however much we joke, that is 100% true. Is that because I do care about these characters in the show, and I've seen them all be really good. I want them to continue to have that respect. So any criticism that I give any of these things, including Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., like it's all coming from a place of just knowing that it could and should be better.
So let's move on.
Especially S.H.I.E.L.D. was just so...
Oh, God.
Yeah. No, not getting
Always, Brian, just trying to get me, trying to rile me up.
Yeah.
So then we move on to Savitar's new plan. He's like,
yeah.
Hey, Cisco, turn this Speed Force cannon into
bazooka.
Yes. Into some new device.
Please don't make it sound ridiculous.
The episode does that. Into some new device that somehow is going to enable me to live in every minute and every second of every universe at all times.
Yeah, well, that was something that I know. There was definitely something I noticed in this episode, is that whoever wrote the screenplay for it, or the teleplay, whatever the script for the show is called, whoever that person is, I didn't look in the credits, they are a Doctor Who fan. They're most definitely a big Doctor Who fan.
I don't watch it, so I don't know.
Yeah, but that was a thing that came up 2 or 3 seasons ago, where there was a character who was able to jump into basically like a Terran time. It was the Doctor's timeline. I'm not going to get into the whole thing, but then she was able to exist all throughout time. And then also there was I wouldn't expect most people, even the people watching the new episodes of Doctor Who, to get the reference. But there was, when they were trying to get Star Labs back online, there's a scene where Cisco is calling to Wally over the comms. They're trying to get the monitor up, and he's like, Wally, reverse the polarity on the neutron flow, or of the neutron flow. That was the one and only technobabble that the Third Doctor from the 70s would ever say.
Okay.
So it was, somebody was a fan.
So tell me then exactly, what does it mean to live in all times, at every second of every moment? Because that idea, to me, I was like, this is a ridiculous plan. It doesn't make any sense. What would be the purpose of that?
Well, it doesn't make any sense, and there's a reason why. As soon as it happened in Doctor Who, they ignored it and never went back to it. Yeah.
Brilliant stuff.
Yeah. No, it was ridiculous, and I would have loved it if Cisco was like, yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, dude, no problem. And then have it just blow up Savitar, and he's just done.
Yeah. Which is basically what he did. He made it do something else, which, again, I wasn't really sure what he made it do.
Really?
I forgot. He's something with the Speed Force or something, right?
Yeah. I mean, do we want to get to that point yet, or?
We'll get to that later, I guess.
Okay, yeah.
Because what's in between that?
Yeah.
So, okay, in between there, we've got Barry. He gets the idea. He's like, oh, I'll do something that Savitar doesn't expect, and I'll try to be his friend, I guess.
Yeah. Which made no sense, because they made the mistake of giving Savitar all of Barry's memories.
Right.
Which I do. The only way that works is because I do think Barry was completely sincere in the entire thing.
Sure. He definitely was.
Yeah.
But
I was, okay, not to interrupt, but like I was so very, I know it wasn't going to play out like that, but I was so very excited that a show was actually going to take the route that like pretty much every kid's parents tell them of like, just talk it out. It's fine.
Right.
That would have been so. It wouldn't have been exciting, but that would have been so incredible if Savitar was basically just like, yeah, I'm being a dick. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just, I'm gonna go, but.
And at first I was on board with the initial concept. I thought that made sense, but then the more that things went, I was like, you know what? Like, no. I'm like, screw this crap. Because you're telling me that the current Team Flash, after everything Savitar has done to them, can have it in their hearts to live with evil Barry and work with him and try to do something for him. But you're telling me that the future Flash team, who had no reason to hate this guy, shunned him? That's the story. Yeah. And that's why he went bad, because they all just decided, we're not going to be friends with you. Of course, we have no backstory as to why that happened. Yeah. It's like, I can't take that logical leap. It's just not, I can't buy it at all.
Yeah.
And that's why, again, I'm telling you, the show is insulting my intelligence, because you told me that was the reason, and now you're telling me that they can just accept it after he's done ridiculously horrible things.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't really have anything for that.
You're like, nothing to say.
No, like
mic drop.
Yeah. No, there was, because I think they started to answer it when, and I still thought I still had hope that it was going to come around, but they answered it when he started having the frustration of, he was the time remnant, and what I would imagine would have happened in the future, and I have no idea what they had in the Bible or in the writer's room for the reasoning why they shunned the time remnant Barry. But I imagine it was very much what he started saying. Even though Iris wasn't around in his original timeline, it was very much I have all of Barry's memories because I am also Barry. He's not a copy of Barry. He's still 100% Barry. Right. So...
and they played that out. It was a good moment with him and Iris, and how he's like, I still love you. I still experience. I remember putting the ring on your finger.
Yeah, he's like, I remember singing to you. Right. Yeah.
It's like that was a good line, but again, it all falls apart because it doesn't make sense that they would ever shun him, like I just said.
Yeah. Well, no, that's why I was saying I think it would make sense, is because they were. I could have seen him coming in.
It would be difficult for him to accept the situation,
and that's why,
not them.
And that's why I'm thinking that it was him, that it wasn't them, and then he was putting all of his own baggage on it. That's how I'm hoping. That's how I'm hoping it would be. I don't think we're ever going to get the answer for that. But that would make a lot more sense.
Right, but then again, he's still Barry, and Barry is not just going to turn evil. We know that Barry doesn't have evil in him like that.
Yeah, because we've even seen Earth 2 where everybody, is either evil or, as Cisco said, just a dick. And even that Barry is, he's still just like, nice, hopeful, nerdy.
Yeah, right.
So it seems like that's always a constant with him. So
then, okay, Savitar tries to play out his plan, and he opens some portal, and he's like, "Oh, this is the reason why I've needed you all along, Killer Frost.
Yeah.
It's because Black Flash is gonna come after me when I do this.
Yeah.
And you're gonna have to stop him."
Which was super easy, apparently.
Yeah, when I was like, "Wow, he totally got bitched out in a second." I'm like, "Whoa, are you really right now? This is," and I'm like,
"Yeah, that I had a problem with, because you spent the entire last season on the run from this guy, trying to figure out how to beat him, and you're saying that all they had to do was get Earth 2 Caitlin to just make him cold, or just freeze him."
Yeah.
Because you have to imagine that Black Flash is probably more powerful than Zoom ever was. Because he's now like an extreme version of the time race.
In some ways,
he's living in the Speed Force, I'm assuming.
Yeah, he just doesn't have the mind anymore.
Yeah. I would imagine that.
First of all, she should never be able to hit him because he's just way too fast. The thing that happened, and I guess I have to forgive that because the show has to find a way. But all the time this happens in the show, that These speedster characters get hit by stuff that they shouldn't get hit all the time.
It is the problem with the Flash, and I don't know if it was on mic or just like in our normal conversations, because believe it or not, people, this is just what me and Carl sound like when we're talking.
This is all we talk about.
Sometimes we talk about old video games, but no. But Marv Wolfman, in an interview after he started taking over Teen Titans in the early '80s. One of the first things he did was he wrote out Kid Flash, and in the interview they asked him why they did that, because Kid Flash was always a member of the Teen Titans. He was one of the founding members, and he was Wally West was a well-loved character. And his response was very simple and 100% true, that if you write the Flash correctly, no one can stop him.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
And which is why I've said this many times, is that Marvel is smart to not have speedsters like that.
Yeah,
It's just a problem.
I mean, even I like the power level they gave Quicksilver in Age of Ultron.
Yeah, right. Yeah. The adequate amount of speed, like.
Yeah, it was very much on par with the '90s Flash. Mm-hmm. Where it's fast enough to take out a bank robber, but he's not, on the god level. Yeah,
a tangent in contrast with the X-Men version.
Yeah.
Where Days of Future Past, where really awesome scene, but world-breaking speed, like things that just
he's liquefying everything he touches.
Right.
And
So many problems with that, but it was cool to look at.
Yeah. No, it's definitely pretty, but
so okay, so then I guess you could tell me like what exactly Cisco did to that gun. I was confused at that point.
Basically, what my takeaway from it, what Cisco did was he used it to affect the Speed Force enough where he weakened the Speed Force prison enough that Jay was able to be free.
Okay, yeah. I mean, that was a result of it. I didn't understand like the reasoning behind.
It was to get Jay out.
Yeah, that was. Yeah, I know.
Well, I mean, that's what they said on the show.
Right. I just didn't understand like what did he change.
I thought it was a little weird that Cisco just knew how to do that.
Right. Yeah, that didn't make sense either. Yeah. But then you got the great moment of 3 Flashes taking on Savitar. Best part of the episode.
Still think it should have been more Flashes, but still.
And you're right. You could have had.
I think it would have been Jesse Quick, the accelerated man from Earth, whatever that Gypsy was from.
Yeah, that's fine.
I still think it would have been rad. And I know this is just me being an idiot fanboy and wanting this in the worst way. And I pray that they do it. That they have John Wesley Shipp play Barry Allen from the '90s Flash again, because we already saw him on the show.
Yeah.
In the.
But I think it's established that was Jay Garrick Flash, and that was just a costume that he may have wore when he was younger.
Oh yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they ever.
They didn't say, but like to me, that seems like that's what they're going with.
Yeah.
That's why they showed it.
Well, I mean, me just being the idiot fanboy, I still would just love it if in one episode of The Flash, you have, Barry, Wally, Jesse, the Accelerated Man, Jay, but then you also have, John Wesley Shipp as the '90s Flash. You have Kyle Gallagher as Flash from Smallville.
Oh, now we're getting a little too crazy here.
No, you have no idea how crazy I want to get this. I want the Michael Rosenbaum animated Flash to show up as a cartoon. Dude, if Supernatural can do a Scooby-Doo crossover next season, there's no reason why this should. I mean,
they do a cartoon episode somehow, maybe.
I could see them just, going to like a completely cel-shaded parallel universe.
Well, yeah, sure. That would be a way to do it. Go to a different universe. Yeah. Where it's
cartoon. For everything
I'd be happy with that. That'd
for
be fun.
Everything they've done in the show, there's no reason why I would buy it. I would buy it 100%.
Oh, that'd be a lot of fun. If they did that way. That way it would work for sure. So
I just want to see all the stuff that I love brought together.
So as cool as it was to have the 3 Flash speedsters fight Savitar, it was incredibly brief. And
yeah, I think the Black Flash. I think it would have been an incredible moment if the Black Flash was. If Caitlin didn't take him out right away,
right,
and he, like, more or less teamed up with Barry, in the right.
But so like that scene, it's really short, and somehow Wally and Jay Garrick are taken out of the fight And,
really fast.
Yeah, and they just, I don't know, like, from what I saw on screen, I'm like, what happened to them? Where are they? Why are they not fighting anymore? Really missed that big, huge missed opportunity. And again, coming back to the insulting my intelligence, this is what we've talked about, and I've thought immediately this is what they should have done from day one. Savitar's here. Oh no, get every speedster to fight him.
Yeah.
Why didn't you do this immediately?
Yeah.
I see no reason why 4 speedsters could not take down Savitar.
Yeah. Well, honestly, I don't see why 2 speedsters couldn't take out Savitar.
Yeah, but let's just say he's that powerful.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, the show has still not established as to why he's that much more powerful than Barry, other than he's been around longer.
Well, I think they've established that he's only more powerful than Barry in the suit.
Yeah, in the suit, which I still don't quite understand what the suit does for him.
I think because weren't they? I think they were kind of. Well, it was armor, and then wasn't it like made out of a material that was like completely frictionless?
Okay, yeah, whatever it was, it's nonsense. So then, another really awesome moment in the episode.
It's a comic book show, dude.
So another really awesome moment in the episode was Barry, and why he never did this in the first place again is a problem. But Barry phases through the suit, pushing evil Barry out of the suit, fights him a little bit, and then
destroys
blows the suit up.
So great.
It
was such a great.
Could have been done first episode if he thought of it. I don't know why. There's a reason why he couldn't have.
Yeah, I mean, I buy it that he wouldn't or couldn't have done it throughout most of the show. But
explain to me why you think he could not have done that. What skill did he gain, or power, or knowledge?
He gained the knowledge of knowing that it was Barry in the suit, that it was a time remnant. He had no idea what that was. As soon as he found out, though, that was a time remnant of himself in the suit, there's no reason why he couldn't have done that in the first place.
Okay, maybe then up until the point when he knew there was someone in the suit. Once he figured out it was a suit, then he could have done that.
Yeah, no, I'm 100% in agreement.
Yeah. Before that, okay, I get you're right. Maybe he wouldn't have thought because he doesn't know it's a suit.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Because he's like, okay, it's a god. I don't know what gods look like.
But
sure. It looks like a transformer. Yeah, whatever.
Cool moment, really cool moment. I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
So then Savitar gets killed eventually.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to kill him. He's like, oh no, I'll never become you. I won't kill you, even though you're going to die in a few minutes. I'm looking at my watch, and
it's like,
probably.
Got about 5 minutes left in the episode. You're gonna die, dude.
Yeah, like it's not really that big of a. You could have just like held him down or something until he disappeared. You didn't actually have to physically kill him.
Yeah.
But then Iris shoots him with, again, I was like, why is he getting hit by a bullet? Bullet shouldn't kill him.
He's only focused on Barry.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine. It's not. It's just that's just a little thing. But that's not a huge problem. And then of course he's shot and he's not dead from the bullet, and then he dies because he's erased from existence.
Yeah.
Very briefly after he gets shot.
Yeah.
And Barry's like, oh, Iris, you gonna be able to live with what you did? And I wanted her to be like, hell yeah, I'm gonna be able to live with it.
She's like, fuck yeah.
The guy's a maniac, and he was just gonna die anyway. So what does it matter?
It would have been so awesome if she was, if her response was just like, yeah, I will, and you remember this next time you don't take out the garbage, okay, Barry? Barry, you remember this.
That would have fit with the show.
Yeah.
Again, better writing by Brian Schwartz.
Exactly. I don't know if that's better writing so much as just making Iris out to be a sociopath.
I would have left him. It would have been good. Because she's totally justified in killing this guy. There's no reason.
Clearly. Because
there's no reason there's a moral problem with it.
Yeah, no. She had every right to kill him. And I hope that there's like some PTSD maybe with, in the next season with her killing him and, her dealing with the consequences. It just like weighing on her, maybe not have her just be like a complete wreck, and when inevitably, I don't want to skip ahead, but like, when life goes back to normal next season, I hope that there's no resentment between her and Barry where she's like, no, I killed you. There's no reason why I can think that I couldn't do that to you.
What a soap opera nonsense that would be.
Yeah, but it's a CW, dude.
Yeah.
It's a soap opera with superpowers.
It is, in some ways, yeah. So, then we're moving on to everybody's like, just, yeah, we won. And then, oh no, there's some weird earthquake going on. And And but before we get to that,
Yes.
by the way, Savitar's dead at this point, right?
Oh yeah, way dead.
Okay, so Wally, no more powers, right?
You would think that.
Yeah, you would think that. But nope, not once does anyone ever think that that would be an issue.
Yeah.
And,
well,
but
well, this is how I looked at it though. Is that Wally didn't lose his powers immediately after Barry lost his memory. So,
Right.
and we're looking at maybe like 5-10 minutes between when, he dies to the end of the episode. So we don't know if Wally will. Most likely, Wally's keeping his powers, and it's going to be kind of dumb. But it would be a great storyline for Wally trying to get his powers back. For the next season.
And you just give me another moment that's insulting our intelligence. Is that I didn't even think of it. They just established in an episode before this that by him losing his memories and Savitar not doing what he did, Wally didn't get his powers, and yet they decide that in this version, if Savitar is defeated, Wally somehow keeps his powers, even though never existing should have made him not give powers to Wally. And it didn't take very long. It was actually pretty much immediate.
I don't know. I thought it was
because the first time he tried to use his powers, he was like, "Oh, I don't have powers."
So I thought that was a little while after, though.
Yeah, but I mean, the show doesn't tell you that it took time. So like, I'm thinking immediately it was an effect, and that should happen whether it's immediate or it's enough time that the show. By the time you get to the end of the show,
you can't make these assumptions, Carl.
Well, the show is making some pretty big logical leaps. Okay.
Yeah.
So okay, and then Julian, he should be gone. Why is he still there? I don't know.
Yeah, he
shouldn't be there.
Yeah, he should have been gone. Yeah. Like he should have just. It's one of those things where time should have been rewritten because Savitar never existed. Julian never would have gone after the Philosopher's Stone.
Yeah. Which is all. This is why that. If they left it the way it was, and that earthquake thing turned out to be the fabric of reality is tearing itself apart because of all the problems, the paradoxes they've created with time travel, I'd have been like, "Cool, that all makes sense."
Yeah.
That things didn't change immediately because they caused a huge problem in the universe. But no, it just turns out that the Speed Force is mad.
Yeah.
And wants, I need my sacrificial lamb. Give me back my prisoner. Like this is his whole concept that they need someone Speed Force prisoner. Why? I don't get this thing. It's so ridiculous.
I would have liked it better if they explained it where in order to trap somebody in the Speed Force, they would have to like cause a rift in it or a tear and damage it, and putting the person in there was basically plugging the hole, and they needed that for the Speed Force to stay intact. I would have liked that explanation. I don't know if that's a thing, but that would have at least would have made sense why after pulling Jay out, because like after pulling Jay out, and then all the quakes and the lightning, everything started to happen. That at least would have given some kind of explanation. Mm-hmm. I think it would have been a lot better if Iris didn't kill Savitar, like she just shot him in the spine or something, and they threw him into the Speed Force.
Sure, yeah.
Because
then
he could have been the prisoner. He was paralyzed. I'm realizing a lot of these problems in the show, I feel as though could be handled best just by paralyzing someone.
No, but he would heal.
Like last week about like
he would heal.
Sure, well maybe in the Speed Force, who knows what would go on? But like,
yeah, I don't know.
But
so Barry decides that he's got to sacrifice himself to prevent the destruction of the universe, so he's going to become this prisoner in the Speed Force, and it's his mom that comes to him and tells him, and it's supposed to be this big touching moment where he's saying goodbye to everyone.
Yeah.
He goes to everybody, and he has this little moment with every character.
Yeah.
But the whole time, I'm just in my head. I'm like, I don't care. It's supposed to be touching, but I'm like, I know the show is not going to give me no Barry. Barry's not dead. He's just coming back. Like,
we know they're not writing out Grant Gustin. Right. One thing that I do have a lot of hope for in the next season is that when in the first episode, where they do the entire episode without Grant Gustin, maybe a couple like clips of him, just like him enjoying life in the Speed Force because, they made a point to say that it's not going to be a hell for him. It's going to be a positive place. But I actually want to see Wally in the red suit.
Yeah.
I'd like that.
Sure.
Because Barry has the moment with him. He's like, this world has a Flash.
Yeah.
And it'd be cool to see him.
It'd be great if, like, this world has a Flash, and Wally's like, oh, no, wait, I have no powers, Barry, don't go.
Yeah, and Barry's just like, yeah, I know, I was talking about Jay.
Yeah, right. Oh, then he should be like, oh, well, then Jay's here.
Yeah.
Or go get Jesse quick.
Yeah. Which I love that he has that little bit with Wells or Harry where, he's like, can you stick around for them? And he's like, anything for you. And, like, that was great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because we gotta have Harrison Wells of some sort, which is fine. I like that version anyway.
Yeah, Harry is my favorite version of Wells that we've seen.
Yeah, Earth 2, Harry.
Yeah.
So, okay, the last thing I really want to say is that, this episode's never going to be good to me. There's so many problems. I couldn't get over the problems with this episode. But the one thing I could say that could somewhat redeem this is that if this show had the balls to do an entire season without Barry Allen, then I would be like, and then I would say, okay, there was there was a reason to do this. There was an impact. The goodbye meant something.
Yeah,
and it would redeem itself from what I would consider probably one of the worst finales of a season in history that I can think of, because you just can't stand everything it did.
You do have a point, because that would be such an incredible reveal if they go the entire next season without Barry, and they're stuck, and in the very last episode, the season finale, he jumps out of the Speed Force.
Whatever they want to explain it. I mean, of course, however, I don't really mean, because as this episode has proven, they can write some really terrible things. But
well, as somebody who clearly wants to write for the show, I think they did a great job. I do have some notes, but I don't know. I think we would definitely differ on it, and I think a big part of it might be the fact that I just want to like the show. I don't, but like I said at the beginning of the conversation, I don't think it was a good season finale. I think it was a great series finale. This would have been an incredibly satisfying series finale, because I think everything, Jay was out, Barry's basically going to heaven, and Iris is alive, Joe has his family, Wally can be the Flash. HR's storyline was wrapped up. He got to be the hero.
Yeah, Caitlin
is somewhere in between the two, and
right. She's not Killer Frost. She's not Caitlin. She's trying to figure out what she should be now.
Yeah, but all of that I found very satisfying. So I think it would have been a great series finale. But
yeah, and like I was just saying, the only way I give her props is if we get a whole season without them. That look, I would be okay with. Like, it's not that I don't like Grant Gustin and don't want him to be in the show, but the way you wrote it, you need to take him out of the show, and you can't just take him out for a few episodes.
Well,
it's got to be.
It's not even going to be a few.
If he's in the first episode of the season next year, I mean,
you're not going to drop the show.
I'm not going to drop the show, but I'm not gonna like it. I can tell you right now, it's going to be a huge problem for me. It's going to be that whole. It's not going to be quite like it, but it's going to be similar to this Smallville thing where they would have a season finale that is like almost world changing, and then episode 1 of next season back to status quo.
That was a big problem I did have with this entire season. Is I was hoping that they would actually get to the mid-season hiatus with Flashpoint. I think they could have done a lot of really good stuff with that.
Yeah, and Flashpoint should have went a little bit longer.
Yeah,
because especially with the impact it's still had over this entire season. Mm-hmm. To tell me that what was it, 1 episode?
Yeah.
Right? One episode little thing that he went through had rippled through 21 more episodes, 22, how many
22,
more episodes? Yeah.
22 episodes.
Yeah.
It's a 23 episode season.
That wasn't enough for me. I didn't buy it enough.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to be the impetus for everything that's happening, but it's too hard, too big of a pill to swallow.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm too big of I think I grew up too big of a comic book fan where I just kind of accept these things, and I really enjoyed the characters. I really enjoyed the cast. I love the chemistry they all have. So I'm a lot more forgiving.
Clearly.
Where I have expectations, but I do have a lot of hope for the next season.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of great stuff they could do. But then again, I mean, Greg Gustin did just get engaged, so maybe he's going to take a year-long honeymoon, and then they're like...
Dude, please do that. I would be very happy with that. It would be a really nice change-up, because I still like the show.
Yeah.
This is not just making me hate the show. Doesn't mean I'm going to stop watching it, because the season as a whole was still good. I enjoyed a lot of this season.
Yeah.
But...
I did kind of wish they did a few more, like, kind of one-off episodes. To use like the X-Files term, like the Monster of the Week episodes, where it wasn't just like the entire overarching story. Because I think those are usually a lot more fun.
Yeah. Where
a lot of the mythology or the overarching storylines, I think, are a little heavier than I enjoy.
And if they do a season without Barry, you could do a lot of that. You could have Kid Flash, doing little one. He's got to fight a new villain here or there.
Okay. Not that they would do this, but what would your feelings be if something happens and like we need Barry, he's trapped in the Speed Force, so they go to another parallel Earth and they get and they basically do the Harrison Wells thing, where they get
you could.
Come on,
but it still weakens the impact of Barry giving himself up because he's still there.
But what if he just like, it's kind of like an HR thing. He just kind of sucks at being the Flash.
Yeah, it's better than nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if that's the exact direction they're going to go.
I mean, it could.
But if you have such a huge sacrificial moment that the whole season obviously led up to, you can't just bring him back the next episode.
I do hope they go a couple without him.
Yeah. Couple's not enough. I say the whole season. I might accept half the season.
Dude, you'll be lucky if you get two.
It's not enough. Not enough. And you'll hear me criticizing and complaining about it next season if that happens.
Yeah.
So
it's not gonna be Flash bad though. Clearly, there's no way it could get Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. bad though.
God, the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. season finale craps all over this. All right.
Oh man, dude, you are just adding too many letters.
They don't have logical fallacies that are hugely problematic and insulting. But all right, we've said enough.
Yeah,
we've said enough.
Yeah.
If there's anything else I want to say, not about this. We're gonna wrap up here.
Yeah.
We've gone long enough on this. Talked about all the good stuff.
Just about an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Almost the length of 2 of the episodes.
Yeah, hopefully our audience is enjoying it. I know we have some listeners now in California.
Yeah.
And where else do we have some?
Looks like we have some people from Virginia.
Someone in Arizona.
Ireland.
Yeah.
Somewhere in South America. Sorry if you're a repeat listener and that sounded dismissive. I'm not sure what country.
But thanks to all of you guys. Hopefully you're listening to this one. You might not be, so we'll thank you again in the other episode.
Yeah.
The primary episode.
The main one.
But I did also briefly want to say I did watch the first episode of American Gods.
Oh, I still haven't gotten to that, but...
And, man, was this a really intriguing, interesting show. Bizarre. I'm not quite sure what's happening. And it starts a little slow, but then all the weird stuff starts happening, and I'm totally on board. I'm like, I cannot wait to see what's going to happen next and where this is going to go. And it's just... it's a different level of show. To me, it's the difference from like a regular network show to a Netflix show, or to an HBO type show.
Yeah, I want to see it, but I got the impression, and I think I'm going to go this route, very much like what I did with because I kind of fell Preacher. I thought was really great, but I fell off that. But I really enjoyed binge watching it, so I think I'm gonna just wait and binge watch American Gods.
Yeah, and I'm a few episodes behind, so I have 3 more to watch already right now.
Yeah.
So like I'm cool. I have plenty to watch, and I cannot wait. Like watching these episodes of Flash and Arrow this week, and in my head I'm like, man, I really wish I was watching American Gods right now.
Yeah.
But I'm doing it for the show and the listeners, okay?
Yeah.
Sacrificing for all of you people who are listening to this particular part of our podcast.
Such a big sacrifice.
I know, right?
Spending 40 minutes.
Hey, I do have other things in my life. I do have a job, We both have full-time jobs. Yeah. So on that note, I think we're going to wrap this up.
Sounds good.
So this has been the Superhero's Journey superhero TV show, spoiler-filled finale extravaganza.
Yeah. You can't see the fireworks, but they're going.
Yeah, they're going. And my name's Carl Freemerman.
I'm Brian Shores.
My co-host here.
Excuse me?
Co-host.
Carl. I think we established my official title. I am your co-host.
Co-host of the week.
Yeah.
See what happens next week.
Yeah.
You can find us on Twitter at Superhero Journey. No E in Super. Write to us, email the Superhero's Journey at gmail.com. Heroes is plural, not possessive. Thank you for listening.
Thanks. And just one last request. If anybody is listening to this, continuing, all we ask is, for now anyway, that you guys take a second to...
phone a friend? No.
Yeah. Phone a friend. To just rate us and give a review or comment on whatever platform you're listening to. It's if you're enjoying this, it's going to help get us out more, just so more people can find us. Also, tell your friends. Even if you think like, hey, you have to hear this, it's totally ridiculous. These guys think they're funny. Just still pass along, because eventually it'll get around to somebody that likes it. So that's all I ask. So didn't mean to sound desperate and needy, but
no, we really appreciate anybody listening to us. We didn't expect. It's not like we've had an overwhelming response, but we're seeing, some people are listening, so we're very happy.
Definitely from areas that I know. I personally don't know anyone, so to any of those people who don't know us personally, definitely thank you for checking this out, and please continue to. We have a lot of fun stuff planned out for the summer, so you don't have to suffer through our comments about the TV shows.
That's right. If you are listening to this, we have an idea planned for next week. That's going to be a separate breakout besides the podcast. It's going to be a ranking of superhero villains from all the different movies that have been out there. So hopefully you guys enjoy that and listen to it. Thank you very much.
Yes, thanks.
Bye.